I hear the call of the stars.
G'day guys, Duckville here. Welcome to a replay from the Korean ladder. This is going to be between two good, pretty decent players indeed. This is going to be between a Terran down here by the name of, it's roughly, if I remember correctly, it's roughly translated like duck or something, or maybe it's like Psyduck from Pokemon. I don't know. I'm going to call him Duck, not to be confused with me, of course. If you, that's not actually me playing. I don't actually have a Korean account, but his opponent is going to be someone you may know from the OGS clan, oGsjookTo. oGsjookTo, who of course is a bit of an interesting player. Most people sort of think he's a pretty sort of average player, not actually getting too far. And to be honest, he hasn't really done too much in GSL or anything else like that, but he's certainly still a very decent player, and obviously someone you would be a little bit worried about if he came up against on the ladder. So we'll see what the plan is here today from Duck, and we'll see what he's going to get up to. Quite a quick refinery there, obviously the signifying that there could be some sort of early factory play, or perhaps even Banshees. That is actually really quick there, and in fact oGsjookTo's just going to catch this here. He's going to be aware that that refinery is all done and dusted. He's going to be mining out of that right about now, and sees that there is no racks on the way. Now, interestingly, this could mean that there is actually a proxy racks. I have actually seen this done one time where the Terran player actually took the refinery, started mining while the Overlord was around, and actually then just went really hard on the minerals there and just started, he put down, I think it was 2 proxy racks or something like that. But obviously this is not going to be the case here today. The racks is going to go down over here for Duck. He's going to get this one up and running, leaving a little bit of space there for the add-on, of course. So we're probably going to assume that it's going to be a tech lab. Wouldn't really expect a reactor just yet, but over here at oGsjookTo's base, only just getting this spawning pool up and running. He does have his natural hatchery down, so that got down without any trouble, of course, because Duck has only just started scouting now, so he's going to be quite late on scouting around. The good thing is for him is that he knows where the Overlord came from, because of course the Overlord can only get there one quick way, and that's by coming all the way up here, so or coming down from here. So we'll see if Duck is going to get inside and do some good scouting. He did see that hatchery just over there, is going to get inside the main base now. We'll see that the spawning pool is still not up just yet. May do some drone harass perhaps here. No, he's not looking to. We'll do some extractor harass. So that's got 500 health. That'll be going down in around about 3 years. But by that time, you would hope that oGsjookTo has at least a couple of lings out. But I'm not really sure if he's going to get too much damage done. But the SCV is starting to claw into greater numbers there. Currently sitting at 16. 17 drones are actually already done for oGsjookTo, so he's going to be well in the black for his economy just at the moment here. Now switching the factory across, there is that early factory, which of course was noted because of the early refinery as well. In fact, even putting a starport down, going to get 2 reactors, two reacted Hellions out here, and going to have them on the way in just a moment here. A tech lab also going down on the racks. This could signify a double-pronged attack here with some with a Banshee and perhaps the Hellions as well, depending on how good the control of Duck is. And we just saw the Hellions just heading out of the base there. The Overlord now sitting in a decent position here. Very hard to hit these Overlords when they're sitting up in this little spot here, which is quite unfortunate. But the Hellions are now getting across the map. They are just sneaking through here. There are some lings out. Probably not going to get too much damage done, given that there is a spine crawler which is just about to complete, well, halfway done, so not really there just yet, but may get some shots off on these lings if he's careful. But the lings are staying up the top of the ramp, not going to let the Hellions get inside the main base, but also not going to let the Hellions get through into the natural without any trouble on their backs. But here comes a 3rd Hellion, in fact a 4th Hellion as well. 4 Hellions will be a little bit of trouble, as anyone from MLG who saw MLG can sort of contest to. And here comes the spine crawler, just moving out a little bit here, going to be burrowing for quite a while. Takes a lot of time for them to burrow with the new patch, and now the lings do have speed, but 4 Hellions pushing up the ramp are going to deny that speed quite easily, taking out all of those lings here. The Hellions are actually going to get in, all 4 of them, a couple of them quite low on the health. The drones are going to have to run away. We do see them running away in a conga line. Hopefully some splits here from oGsjookTo. Does split a couple off, but now these drones are actually quite in trouble here at the natural expansion. But with that second spine crawler down, that is actually not too bad, but he did lose quite a few drones there actually. Now we have a quick look at the worker supply. We're currently sitting at 26 to 23 in favor of oGsjookTo, but in fact, wait, 26, I'm not really sure what's going on with that. But the actual workers lost, let's have a look at that one. Workers killed was 10 to the one single SCV, so that actually went nicely there for Dark. He did some nice damage there when the drones got in their little conga line, but some Lings are sitting out the front here waiting to perhaps do a little bit of pressure here. The bunker is now up, protecting this command center just while it constructs, and we'll see if there's any further plan here from Duck. We don't actually see. Was that a Banshee that actually went in? I'm not actually sure. I think there may have been. Not sure if we caught that, but we'll have a look a little bit later. There goes the Lynx inside the natural expansion, getting surrounding a little bit of pressure on those Hellions. They may have to really run away, and they are getting quite low. One of them gets taken out. A second one is about to go down, but the Banshee will have something to say about that. These Lynx probably won't get too much done. May get this this other Hellion, but no, they don't. So that guy escapes with 15 health. Gonna have to repair that one. And now a Banshee is out for Duck. He's gonna have to maybe scout around with this one, but no, he's not. He's gonna go straight for these rocks. It looks as if he may be preparing to take a quick third base. He is putting down a command center over there at the side of the rocks there. The second command center is also done. Going to probably switch this one into an orbital command quite quick, along with moving some SCVs across. There they go. I was wondering where they were. I was about to say that actually looks like terrible SCV saturation for this point in the game, but he'd actually already moved them across. So now starting to bump out, or he will be in a moment once this orbital's done, and we'll be able to start absolutely pumping out the SCVs with the double command center and the third on the way. A Raven is coming out now from Duck. He's going to have that up and running, ready to deflect any sorts of roach burrow pressure, but I don't think we'll have anything like that coming along. But look at all this creep spreading out already for oGsjookTo. That's a fantastic job by him to get that all the way out there. We'd love to see it perhaps creeping up this way as well, so he can get prepared to take that third base in the corner. But generally we actually see Zergs actually take this gold base a little bit quicker than the third in the corner. Of course, it's a little bit easier to take this one in terms of actually getting across to defend it. We can put down some spine crawlers across this section here and have this sort of area covered from sort of any preliminary attacks, but also it means that you get the bonus of this economy here with the 6 gold mineral patches, which certainly do help in the economy stakes. But looking at this particular attack here coming from Duck, he's got the 4 Hellions out at the moment, he's got the couple of Banshees and a Raven here. He's going to actually deny a lot of these creep tumors from getting up any further here, and along with the point defense drone, if he decides to use it, he will be able to take perhaps some of the queens if he gets a little bit creative with it. But the Hellions, meanwhile, just sort of poking around, taking out all sorts of creep tumors everywhere. But now the Lings are going to try and have something to say about that. But the Hellions moving into a decent position here with that lower amount of surface area on the side. They were in a nice spot there. But here come the Queens. The Queens are going to try and help out with this. But now all of those creep tumors have been destroyed. Now trying to micro away these Hellions from all of those Lings, taking out all of those Lings. That was quite devastating for oGsjookTo now that he has to rebuild those, or perhaps switch into some other sort of tech in just a moment here. We do have a Spire just building at the back of the main mineral line along with the Baneling Nest, so he definitely does have the potential, probably looking to switch into the standard sort of Mutiling Bane, which we do see a lot out of all sorts of Zerg players around the way. And in fact, a Thor is already out for Duck, so he's going to be well prepared against any sort of Muta harass that may come along at the main and the natural expansion. The third base over here in the corner will have to have a couple of missile turrets down. As I say that, he slaps down 3 of them along with the 2 refineries as well. So he's certainly going to be able to deal with this sort of pressure here. And we do see we've got the Banshee and the Raven just coming back from a little bit more harassment as well. And speaking of harassment, the Viking taking some shots on this Overlord, trying to make sure that the vision of oGsjookTo is quite limited as much as he can. But of course, with the creep tumors flowing out around the map along with this gold base, he's going to be oGsjookTo's still going to be in quite a nice spot. But the problem for oGsjookTo is if this Thor production continues, he could be in a very difficult spot. We do have that second Thor that's out just now. Looking at the supply count, currently sitting at 93 for Duck, 98 for oGsjookTo. So he's going to have to contend. It looks as if Duck may be heading for a couple more Thors than you normally would get. You normally don't see more than the 2 Thors pumping out of a Terran this early in the game, but of course we do have 2 out already. A third is on the way, just about half done in just a second, so he's definitely going to be able to contend with all of these Mutalisk pressure that is coming out of oGsjookTo. But now all of these Lings now streaming across the map. He may be looking to protect the third base that the Duck might be going for, but now sweeping down here to the rocks to try and take out this third base. If he gets inside, he definitely would be able to do a little bit of damage here, but now with these extra factories coming along, we actually have 5 factories on the way from Duck. He is certainly going to go heavy on this mech style here, perhaps even going for mass Thors. I would be very surprised if we saw mass Thors, though. Wouldn't actually think that would be able to take out a high-level Korean player such as oGsjookTo, but you never know if you never go, so we'll see what happens here. Blue Flame is now out for those Hellions. They're going to be able to roast away at those Lings if they ever come into contact with them. Now those extra 4 racks are now done, taking the total up to 5, putting down a couple of tech labs here, an extra one across. We'll see if there's a reactor or not. There it is, a reactor on the 4th factory over here. SCV actually stuck inside. I think that means it's bad times for any sort of any units that come out there. Of course, the Hellions that will come out of there may get stuck if this rally point stays in effect without taking out that that missile turret. But upgrades are on the way. He's going to have +2 to vehicle plating. That actually gives the Thors a lot of protection against the Lings. Of course, it means they survive just a little bit longer, allowing the Hellions to get a few more shots off on them. And here come the Mutas just trying to come through the side here. See one of the missile turrets. The missile turret is going to go down. There's no way to repair that one now, and they will try and push through the back here, but there are 3 missile turrets, and there's no way this small sort of group of Mutas will be able to take that out. So oGsjookTo is going to have to prepare perhaps a slightly different tech. We do have the Evo chambers here pumping away at the +1 to the missile attacks and the carapace as well, along with the Roach Warren here. I would not be surprised if he starts switching into Roaches. Perhaps the Roaches can deal with that mass Thor combination that's coming up from Duck. In fact, yeah, he is really sticking with this particular combination here. We now have a total of we've got 6 Thors out, of course, with their Thor's hammer and the harpoon, what are they called, javelin missile launchers. They will be able to do a lot of damage once they get into just a slightly bigger number here. And of course, if they pick up the what's the upgrade called, the 250mm cannon, that could also help with taking out buildings quite quickly as well if he needs to do that as well. So Mutas out here in a decent sort of pack. We got 21 Mutas here on the field at the moment, just floating around trying to find out any way they can put some pressure on Duck. But with these Hellions and the Thors out, he's just in such an untouchable position here. 2 missile turrets are probably going to go down. The flock of Mutas is going to take care of them quite swiftly. And here comes an attack on this third base here, taking out 1 missile turret, repairing the second. He will be able to get this, I would assume. And down goes some of those SCVs as well, along with the 3rd missile turret. And there it goes. So oGsjookTo's got to be really careful with where he goes now. In fact, some of these Mutas actually flew across the gold base, so he's going to be aware that that's there. Not to mention, actually took some hits on a couple of these guys as well. But here comes the push from Duck. He's decided now is the time, and he is going to push through, taking out the creep tumors all over the place. That is really going to help with his progress if the Roaches come out, because with the creep spread there, if the Roaches have that, they will be quite a bit to deal with. And here come the defensive units of oGsjookTo sweeping in here with Lings, Banelings, Mutas, everything coming into effect, taking out everything there. The Thors, a couple of Thors are still alive there, taking some shots at the Mutas as they try and flee from the battle there. Of course, if the Mutas take too many hits, they will just start exploding from those Thor shots. The anti-air, of course, doing splash damage. But nice little defense there. In fact, only lost that gold expansion. I don't think he lost too many drones. Let's have a quick look at the tab there. We actually are even on the workers. That's quite surprising to see. But oGsjookTo just doing a nice defense there, sweeping in with a large amount of units. That's pretty much what you have to do against Thors, just because they are so incredibly powerful. Now pumping up to 86 drones. These Mulists just flying around the map, trying to cause a little bit more havoc, as we mentioned before. And now drones just transferring around the map as well. Coming up here to this 5th base, the 4th base over here at the 12 o'clock position is up and running, and now attempting a counter-attack is oGsjookTo. Banelings coming inside, exploding on this planetary fortress. The planetary will go down. There it goes. Thors coming in from the side. You can see those javelins being thrown there by those dudes from the Olympics, and they come through and stop that attack. But the damage was pretty much already done there. Losing a lot of those SCVs and then losing the planetary at the gold as well is not a good position for Duck to be in. So what he's going to have to do is counter-attack, of course. So he's going to need to come through here. Perhaps if he can take out some of these lings before they get some surrounding action on top of those Thors, he will be in a nice spot. But the Thors are now moving inside. The Mutalisk will have to be very careful here. Only these lings are out here at the moment for oGsjookTo. He does have some orb units just building now. A few Mutalisks popping into existence there. The Thors now marching inside there. They will be able to take out this expansion quite quickly. Again, it goes down. The Hellions staying alive as long as they can. Just roasting up all of those drones there, taking out lings all over the place as well. And oGsjookTo is actually in a bit of a worrying position right now, with not many ground forces to contend with this Hellion Thor combo. And now with all of these Thors here, we got a total of 9 Thors out on the map here, and oGsjookTo is going to be in a lot of trouble. We'll probably see this harvester count drop quite dramatically in just a second once these Hellions get into position. Now coming up to the 5th base there, making sure that there is not too much going on, but you can see that there is certainly a lot going on. And here we go, one of the Hellions getting a citizen's arrest and going down to those drones, and the 4th base is now taken out, but the 5th as well is going to be in jeopardy once these Thors march up the ramp, along with extra Hellion reinforcements coming through. There are any more reinforcements coming here from Duck? No, there aren't, but he is trying to make sure the map is covered, holding that Xelnoga watchtower, but not going to hold it too long. I would say these lings are probably going to take care of it. If they don't, I'll be quite surprised. But the 5th base is now down. Those Thors have done their job. They are now walking away from the battle. Broodlord's coming into effect now, and we'll see if oGsjookTo has any way of stopping this force from marching through and devastating his economy and everything else that he has, pretty much. But he looks as if, for the time being, Duck is quite happy with what he's done. He's gotten his got his 9 Thors, marched around the map, killed 3 bases. He's quite happy with that progression at the moment here. The gold base is up and running here, with now a planetary fortress coming into effect. Turrets just built here as well, just as a precaution. Of course, the Mutalisks aren't in a huge number just yet because of the Thors dispatching them all over the place. But now with the Broodlords, this could get a little bit interesting depending on how good the control of Duck is. If he is good with his control, I would think he should be able to take these out. In fact, now with his Vikings here, he's definitely going to be able to take these out. And GG automatically from oGsjookTo, going down to a very interesting Thor Hellion play here from Duck. And we just saw that that early pressure. We saw those 4 Hellions get inside the base, take out some of the drones that were here, putting oGsjookTo in a little bit of an unfortunate position, not allowing him to control the map either, and also denying those creep tumors all over the map. This is the only creep line that was left open for oGsjookTo, of course, meaning that his units couldn't get around as fast. So great play there by Duck, taking out oGsjookTo, and we'll see if we can get some more games of these high-level guys soon. Cheers.